Do you feel guilty for not wanting visitors at your home anymore, even when it's family or old friends? Today, I'm revealing 7 research-backed reasons why preferring solitude and peace after 70 isn't antisocial or ungrateful. It's a natural, healthy response to aging that you should embrace without guilt. And reason number 5, Harvard Medical School researchers found it's directly connected to a survival mechanism that protects your health in ways most people never understand. Clyde, 77, from Virginia, used to love hosting Sunday dinners and holiday gatherings. Last Thanksgiving, after everyone left, he felt completely drained for 3 full days and realized something had shifted. He wasn't being unfriendly. His body and mind were telling him clearly that what once energized him now depleted him, and that's completely normal. Reason 1. Physical energy depletion. Hosting visitors physically exhausts you in ways it never did before, and this isn't weakness or laziness. The Mayo Clinic's research on aging and cellular metabolism shows that mitochondria, the powerhouses in your cells that produce energy, decline in function as you age. After 70, your body generates roughly 30% less cellular energy than it did at age 40. Every activity you perform draws from a significantly smaller energy reserve. Preparing your home for guests, cooking meals, staying alert during conversations, and simply being on socially for hours requires enormous energy expenditure that depletes your limited daily capacity. What used to feel effortless now leaves you completely drained. The physical demands of hosting are substantial and often underestimated by people who haven't experienced this energy decline themselves. You need to clean your home beforehand, which involves bending, reaching, and moving around for extended periods. You prepare food, which requires standing at the counter and stove. During the visit, you remain alert and engaged instead of resting when your body signals fatigue. You can't excuse yourself for a nap when you need one. You stay upright in a chair instead of lying down to relieve back pressure. Your muscles remain tense from sitting properly instead of relaxing in your preferred position. All of this happens while your body is simultaneously managing chronic conditions, processing medications, and performing the basic metabolic functions that require more effort with each passing year. The recovery period after hosting visitors extends far beyond the visit itself and directly impacts your health and safety. Research published in the Journal of Gerontology shows that fatigue in seniors significantly increases fall risk, slows cognitive processing, and weakens immune function. After a full afternoon of entertaining guests, you might feel too tired to prepare a proper dinner for yourself. You might skip your evening walk because you're exhausted. You might sleep poorly because you're overtired. The next day, you're still recovering instead of maintaining your normal routine. This disruption cascades into multiple days of reduced activity, poor nutrition, and increased vulnerability to illness or injury. Nadine, 74, from Indiana, hosted her daughter's family for a weekend and spent the following week too exhausted to do her regular grocery shopping or attend her exercise class. She realized the visit cost her an entire week of healthy living. Set strict boundaries around visit length and frequency starting today. Tell family and friends clearly that you can handle visits of 2 hours maximum, and you need at least a week between visits to recover your energy. Suggest meeting at restaurants instead, where you're not responsible for preparation or cleanup and can leave when you're tired. Stop apologizing for needing rest. Your energy is finite and precious. Every hour spent entertaining is an hour not spent on your own health maintenance and well-being. Protect your energy reserves now while you still have the strength to maintain your independence. Start setting these boundaries immediately. Reason 2. Need for routine and predictability. Your daily routine isn't just habit. It's the foundation of your health and cognitive function after 70. Johns Hopkins research on aging and circadian rhythms demonstrates that older brains rely much more heavily on predictable patterns than younger brains do. Your medication schedule, meal times, exercise periods, and sleep patterns create a framework that keeps your body functioning optimally. When visitors arrive, this entire structure collapses. You eat lunch 2 hours late because you're entertaining. You skip your afternoon rest because guests are present. You stay up past your bedtime because it seems rude to go to bed while people are visiting. These disruptions might seem minor, but they trigger a cascade of problems that affect you for days afterward. The consequences of routine disruption extend far beyond simple inconvenience and directly threaten your health stability. When you eat meals at irregular times, your blood sugar regulation suffers. When you miss your scheduled rest period, your body doesn't recover properly from morning activities. When you take medications at different times than usual, their effectiveness changes and side effects may increase. Studies from the National Institute on Aging show that irregular routines in seniors contribute to increased anxiety, poor sleep quality, cognitive confusion, and even increased fall risk because your body isn't where it expects to be at certain times of day. Your internal clock has been carefully calibrated over decades, and disrupting it has real physiological consequences. Visitors, no matter how well-intentioned, fundamentally disrupt the predictable environment your aging brain requires for optimal function. You can't follow your normal schedule when someone else is in your space with different needs and expectations. They want coffee when you normally have your morning quiet time. They want to chat when you normally take your afternoon rest. They stay until evening when you need to wind down for bed. The stress of accommodating their schedule while abandoning your own creates cognitive load that exhausts your mental resources. Research shows that seniors experiencing chronic routine disruption show measurable declines in memory, decision-making, and emotional regulation. Vernon, 79, from Kansas, noticed his memory problems worsened significantly during weeks when he had multiple visitors. His doctor asked about routine changes, and when Vernon returned to his strict schedule without visitors, his cognitive clarity improved within days. Communicate your schedule needs clearly and unapologetically to anyone who wants to visit. Explain that you need to eat lunch at noon, rest from 2 to 3 p.m., and be in bed by 9 p.m., and these aren't preferences, they're health requirements. Suggest visit times that fit your routine instead of disrupting it. If someone can't accommodate your schedule, meet them elsewhere or decline the visit entirely. Your routine is more important than anyone's social expectations. The predictability that seems boring to younger people is actually the structure keeping you healthy and functional. Honor your routine starting today by refusing to compromise it for visitors. Make this non-negotiable right now. Reason 3. Sensory overload and noise sensitivity. Multiple conversations, movement and noise now overwhelm your nervous system in ways younger people can't comprehend. Research on age-related sensory processing changes shows that the aging brain has increasing difficulty filtering background noise from important sounds. When multiple people talk simultaneously, your brain struggles to process individual conversations. Background noise that you used to ignore, dishes clattering, people moving around, television or music, now competes for your attention and creates cognitive exhaustion. The sensory input that feels normal to visitors feels overwhelming and chaotic to your aging nervous system. Your decreased ability to process complex auditory environments isn't hearing loss. It's a change in how your brain manages sensory information. The University of California research on auditory processing in older adults found that even seniors with good hearing scores struggle in noisy environments because the central auditory processing centers in the brain slow down with age. You can hear the sounds fine, but your brain can't separate and interpret them as efficiently. When 3 people are talking at once in your living room, your brain is working overtime, trying to follow conversations, filter irrelevant noise, and respond appropriately. This creates severe mental fatigue that feels like physical exhaustion. After an hour of this sensory chaos, you're completely spent and need silence to recover. The physical symptoms of sensory overload are real and measurable, not imaginary complaints. Extended exposure to noise and activity triggers stress responses in your body. Elevated heart rate, increased blood pressure, muscle tension, and cortisol release. These physiological responses occur even if you're consciously enjoying the visit. Your body is working hard to process all the sensory input, and this work has a biological cost. Many seniors experience headaches, dizziness, or exhaustion after visits without understanding that sensory overload is the cause. The cognitive fatigue from processing complex social environments can persist for 24 hours or longer. Irene, 76, from Georgia, always felt irritable and confused after her grandchildren visited. She thought something was wrong with her until she recognized that the noise and chaos of young children overwhelmed her processing capacity. She now sees them at parks where she can walk away when it becomes too much. Limit the number of visitors allowed in your home at one time and keep visit duration short to prevent sensory overload. 1 or 2 quiet people for 2 hours maximum is far better than 5 noisy people for 4 hours. Make your expectations clear beforehand. No loud music, television at low volume, and calm conversation only. If you start feeling overwhelmed during a visit, end it immediately regardless of how long people have been there. Your nervous system's tolerance for stimulation has legitimate limits that you must respect. Protect your sensory peace by controlling who enters your space and for how long. Start enforcing these limits today without guilt or apology. Reason 4. Quality over quantity in relationships. After 70, you finally understand which relationships truly matter and which are maintained from obligation alone. Stanford psychologist Laura Carstenson's research on socio-emotional selectivity theory demonstrates that as people age and perceive their time as limited, they naturally prioritize emotionally meaningful relationships over superficial ones. This isn't becoming cranky or antisocial. It's a developmentally appropriate shift in social priorities backed by decades of psychological research. You're no longer interested in maintaining relationships that don't bring genuine joy, support, or meaning. The social obligations that felt important at 50 now feel like pointless energy drains at 75. The shift toward relationship selectivity accelerates after 70 because you have first-hand understanding that time and energy are finite resources. You're not going to live forever, and neither is anyone else. Spending precious hours entertaining people you don't particularly enjoy or who don't genuinely care about you feels increasingly absurd. Studies published in Psychology and Aging show that older adults report higher relationship satisfaction, specifically because they've narrowed their social circles to people who matter. You know exactly who brings you joy and who leaves you feeling drained. The challenge is that family members and old friends often expect continued access to your time and home, regardless of whether those relationships are actually fulfilling or have become burdensome obligations. Many visits happen not because you want them, but because you feel obligated to maintain appearances or avoid family conflict. Your cousin visits annually out of tradition, even though you have nothing in common, and the conversation feels forced. Your neighbor drops by frequently because she's lonely, but she exhausts you with complaints and gossip. Your adult children bring the grandchildren over every Sunday out of expectation, even though the chaos overwhelms you and nobody actually enjoys these stressful visits. Research shows that obligatory social interactions provide none of the health benefits of genuine connection and actually increase stress and negative emotions in older adults. You're sacrificing your peace for relationships that don't nourish you. Wilma, 78, from Missouri, finally stopped hosting her husband's extended family for holidays. The visits were exhausting, nobody seemed to enjoy them, and they were happening purely from obligation. The first holiday without hosting, she felt relieved instead of guilty, which told her she'd made the right decision years too late. Stop hosting people out of obligation and start choosing your visitors intentionally based on who genuinely adds value to your life. Make a mental list of people whose company you truly enjoy and who leave you feeling better rather than drained. These are the only people worth your limited energy. Everyone else gets polite but firm boundaries, shorter visits, less frequency, or meetings outside your home. You don't owe anyone access to your space or time simply because they're family or old friends. Your peace and well-being matter more than maintaining relationships that no longer serve you. Curate your social circle starting today by being honest about who you actually want to see. Start this process immediately, without guilt. Reason 5. Home as health sanctuary. Your home is now your primary health management center, and disrupting it increases serious health risks. Harvard Medical School research on home environment and senior health outcomes shows that the home environment directly impacts medication adherence, fall risk, sleep quality, and overall health stability in older adults. Your home is carefully arranged to support your specific needs. Medications organized in specific locations, furniture positioned to prevent falls, temperature controlled for your comfort, lighting adjusted for your vision, and everything within reach to minimize dangerous stretching or bending. When visitors arrive, this carefully controlled health sanctuary becomes disrupted and potentially dangerous. The ways visitors disrupt your health environment are numerous and often invisible to them, but critical to you. They move furniture or leave items in walking paths, creating fall hazards. They adjust your thermostat to their comfort preference, which affects your body's ability to regulate temperature. They create distractions when you need to take medications at specific times. They occupy the bathroom when you need access to it. They use your kitchen, moving items you've positioned intentionally for safety and accessibility. They bring noise and activity that prevents the rest periods your body requires. Research from the National Institute on Aging demonstrates that seniors who maintain consistent, controlled home environments have significantly better health outcomes than those whose environments are frequently disrupted. Your health depends on predictability and control. The stress created by loss of control over your own environment has measurable physiological effects that persist after visitors leave. When someone else is in your space, you're hyper-aware of their needs and movements. You can't fully relax. Your blood pressure remains elevated. Your stress hormones stay activated. You can't follow your usual self-care routines. If you normally lie down for 30 minutes with your legs elevated to help circulation, you can't do that with guests present. If you need to check your blood sugar or take medications at specific times, visitors disrupt that schedule. The accumulated effect of these small disruptions creates significant health impact over time. Studies show that seniors experiencing frequent environmental disruption have higher rates of medication errors, missed health monitoring, and preventable health crises. Gladys, 72, from Alabama, fell and fractured her wrist because her daughter-in-law rearranged her living room furniture during a visit to make more seating. The new furniture placement created an obstacle in Gladys's usual walking path that she didn't see in low light. Explain your health needs clearly to anyone who wants to visit, and enforce rules that protect your health sanctuary. Make it clear that nothing in your home can be moved or adjusted. Set firm departure times that allow you to return to your normal health routines. If visitors interfere with medication schedules, rest periods, or other health requirements, end the visit immediately. Your home's primary purpose is supporting your health and safety, not providing entertainment space for visitors. Anyone who can't respect these boundaries doesn't get access to your home. Prioritize your health sanctuary starting today by treating it as the life or death resource it actually is. Make this your highest priority right now. Reason 6. Less tolerance for social pretense. You're tired of pretending to be interested in things that don't matter, and there's solid psychological research supporting this change. Studies on authenticity and aging show that older adults place increasingly higher value on genuine interaction and lose tolerance for superficial conversation, small talk, and social performance. You've spent decades being polite, showing interest in topics that bore you, and maintaining socially appropriate behavior even when it felt fake. After 70, the motivation to continue this performance diminishes dramatically. You want authentic connection or solite rather than exhausting yourself pretending enthusiasm for conversations about topics you don't care about with people you're not close to. The energy required for social performance increases with age, while the perceived benefit decreases. When you're hosting visitors, you're constantly performing a socially acceptable version of yourself, smiling when you're tired, showing interest when you're bored, staying upright when you want to lie down, and engaging in chit-chat when you'd rather be quiet. Psychological research shows that this kind of emotional labor, managing your true feelings to present socially appropriate reactions, becomes exponentially more exhausting as cognitive resources decline with age. You simply don't have the mental energy to sustain the performance anymore, and you don't see the point. Why should you exhaust yourself pretending to care about someone's vacation photos or their opinions on topics that don't affect your life? The shift away from social pretense isn't rudeness. It's a healthy developmental stage where authenticity becomes paramount. Erikson's psychosocial development theory identifies integrity versus despair as the central challenge of late life, and achieving integrity requires honest self-reflection and authentic living rather than continued performance for others. You're finally comfortable being yourself without apology, but visitors often demand the social performance you're no longer willing to provide. They expect you to be interested, engaged, and entertaining when you'd rather be honest about wanting quiet time alone. The disconnect between their expectations and your authentic preferences creates friction that makes visits feel burdensome. Lloyd, 81, from Tennessee, stopped hosting his wife's book club friends because he was exhausted from pretending to care about books he hadn't read. When he admitted he just wanted peace on Saturday afternoons, his wife was initially upset, but eventually recognized he'd spent years performing interest he didn't feel. Be honest about your preferences and decline visits that require social pretense you're not willing to perform. If someone wants to visit to tell you about their life but shows no interest in yours, that's not a meaningful visit worth your energy. If conversations feel obligatory and superficial rather than genuine, stop hosting those people. You've earned the right to authenticity after decades of social performance. Protecting your mental and emotional energy by refusing to fake interest or enthusiasm is healthy self-care, not rudeness. Start being authentic today by stopping the performance and being honest about what you actually want. Begin this practice immediately. Reason 7. Sleep and rest requirements. Visitors disrupt the sleep schedule that's now critical to your health and survival. The National Institute on Aging's research on sleep and aging shows that sleep architecture changes significantly after age 65. You get less deep sleep, wake more frequently during the night, and require more total rest time, including daytime naps, to maintain health and cognitive function. Your sleep schedule isn't a preference, it's a medical necessity. When visitors disrupt your bedtime, prevent afternoon rest, or create an environment that interferes with sleep quality, they're directly threatening your health in ways that increase fall risk, cognitive decline, and mortality. The consequences of sleep disruption in seniors are severe and well documented in medical literature. Poor sleep significantly increases your risk of falling. Studies show that seniors who get less than 7 hours of sleep have double the fall risk of those who sleep adequately. Sleep deprivation impairs balance, slows reaction time, and reduces situational awareness. Beyond falls, inadequate sleep accelerates cognitive decline, weakens immune function, increases inflammation, raises blood pressure, and is associated with higher mortality rates in every age group, but especially in seniors. When visitors keep you up past your normal bedtime or prevent your afternoon rest, they're not just inconveniencing you, they're actively damaging your health and increasing your risk of serious injury or illness. Many visitors, especially younger family members, don't understand or respect how critical sleep timing is for seniors. They think staying until 10 p.m. is reasonable when your body needs to be asleep by 8:30 p.m. They don't grasp that preventing your 2 p.m. rest period affects your entire following day. They view your sleep requirements as preferences to be negotiated rather than biological necessities to be protected. Research shows that even a single night of disrupted sleep affects senior cognitive function for up to 3 days afterward. Multiple visits per week that interfere with sleep create chronic sleep debt that compounds over time, leading to measurable health decline. Ramona, 75, from Colorado, noticed her balance problems worsened significantly during months when she had frequent evening visitors. Her doctor identified sleep deprivation as the cause and told her bluntly that late visits were increasing her fall risk to dangerous levels. Enforce early departure times and protect your rest periods without exception or apology. Tell visitors they must leave by 6 p.m. so you can complete your evening routine and be in bed on time. If your afternoon rest is scheduled from 2 to 3 p.m., don't accept visits during that window under any circumstances. Make it clear these aren't negotiable preferences. They're health requirements your doctor has ordered. Anyone who can't respect your sleep needs doesn't get invited to your home. Your sleep is more important than anyone's feelings about visit lengths or timing. Guard your sleep schedule starting today like the life or death issue it actually is. Make this change immediately. Saying no to visitors isn't rejecting people. It's honoring the wisdom your body and mind have earned through decades of life. These 7 reasons prove that preferring solitude after 70 is healthy, natural, and essential for maintaining your independence and well-being. Your peace matters more than anyone else's expectations or feelings about access to your time and space. Tell me in the comments, are you at the age where you prefer peace over visitors, or do you still feel guilty about it? If this gave you permission to stop feeling guilty about protecting your peace, hit that like button and share this video with other seniors who need to hear that their feelings are valid and healthy. Subscribe for more honest conversations about aging that nobody else is willing to have.